economy crashed. I can't predict that. I can't predict the weather.
I can. I'm a Doppler fucking radar. You took something and you didn't give it back. Then banks screwed you over. Take your pick. Either way, you lost. But I made more money during the crash than before it. You can too. You just gotta stop lying to yourself and ask, what did you do wrong that your family lives in a motel?
Tariff Tantrum 2.0. On last Monday's video, we talked about the bullish W fractal holding the higher low that was forming. And I told you guys Wednesday the tariffs are coming out. Nobody knows what the tariffs were going to be. Nobody knows the percentage of the tariffs or the amount of countries. Sure enough, more than 60 countries got a tariff. There's a baseline 10% tariff, but then there's these larger tariffs that kick in April 9th based on trade deficits, which was the shock to the market. And how did the market react? Panic and a massive sell-off. So what does this mean? Does this change anything? I want to show you guys the patterns that are really important to watch here because we just made a spike bottom. When we have these sell-offs like this, you're going to get a big rally. It doesn't mean that rally happens today or tomorrow, but you will get a big rally. That rally will go to a lower high or a higher high. Either way, all the recession indicators already triggered. The question is the market done? The Wall Street is lowering its targets right now on everything across the board. For growth, they're lowering their targets for earnings projections. But what are they not lowering their targets on? They're not lowering their targets on inflation. They think this is going to be stagflationary. And guys, here's the thing. Even though they all lowered their targets, guess what? They're all higher than where they are now. You're going to get a big bounce. Okay, so we're going to cover that in this video. Welcome to Market Makers, everybody. Your home for tomorrow's TA today. This is an exciting time to be trading because the way I'm viewing this sell-off, if you miss some of these big bottoms, the big panic in 2020, the big panic in 2022, and now the big panic in 2025, they don't come around very often. Here on S&P futures, you're down 21%. So is this it? Because everybody in the media is repeating each other saying that this is horrible, everything's going to fall apart. You have the same cast of characters going on the same big podcast saying this is it, told you so. I get all that, but what do the charts say? And then how does this time out with cycles? That's what I'm interested in. So many of you are probably interested in watching this channel. First thing, let's talk about sell-offs and recoveries as we look at the chart here. When we look at 36% down in the pandemic, when we look at 27% down over here in 2022, and then we look at this 21% move. Notice the similarity with the 21% and the pandemic sell-off. Dramatic, fearful, emotional. Fear and greed index is at a 4 right now versus the steady decline through the course of a year all the way down to October 2022. This is a bear market right here. This is going to be a spike bottom. Spike bottoms get dramatic recoveries. If you guys don't follow me on X, follow me at Market Canary. I've been giving a lot of updates on this. If you guys want to come trade with us, check out our room, marketmakers.trade. Fantastic place to be. Awesome community there. So again, spike bottom, big rally. I showed this on X as well. Let me just show you what I'm looking at here. You get strong recoveries off of spike bottoms. This initial recovery before you really even spent any time going sideways was 65% off the low after a 36% sell-off. Guys, I'm telling you, Mag 7 is 33 to 50% down, depending what you're looking at. Big money has to buy something at some point, okay? So we have all of these things happening right now in the macro backdrop. Some of the things that are coming out, 50 countries are now engaged with trade negotiations. What's a catalyst to bring relief to the market, even if it's to a lower high? It will be a big rally back up to that lower high. The big catalyst will be as some trade deals potentially get announced, you're going to see a recovery. But guess what? By the time YouTube tells you you're in a recovery, by the time you hear about it on the media, you're going to be halfway to the recovery already. right? Because for the next several weeks, whenever there's any recovery, you're going to see, is this a bear trap? Question mark. Should I buy here? Question mark. And that's the videos retail likes to see. What we're looking at is the next move in the market, okay? And that's what I'm focusing on, because to me, this is a massive buying opportunity if we can hold key support levels. That's kind of the separation of what I'm doing with the macro, with cycles, with everybody else reacting and always being late to the party. So let's look on my screen and explain this a little bit. This is the Gann market pattern. It's now called an ABC quite often, the law of three patterns in the marketplace. A wave up, B wave down, C wave. Look at the retracements, right? You have a 36% sell-off, a 27% sell-off. If we come down more, you're looking at 45.19 here. If we come down to the 618, more bad news comes out. The EU retaliates. We get a big trade war. Trump hikes tariffs to 200%. Whatever, right? Can't tell you what the catalyst will be, but I can't tell you what the catalyst for the Savior Swan will be, which is trade deals, right? It could be trade deals. It could be the Fed doing a cut. It could be a lot of things. That doesn't matter. What matters is looking at where we can hold support. If you guys, again, followed me on X at Market Canary, we landed right where I talked about we could land, which is 50 or 48.34, the 50% retracement. Friday, we landed right at the 382, bounced off of it. I said it can go down to 48.34. That's where we're at now. Could it go down more? Of course, it could go down to the 618. I don't know how these negotiations are going to go. This isn't about predicting the future. It's about understanding key levels of support and resistance. But what happens after this, okay? Let's say you stay at 48.34 or you come down to 45.19. What happens after that? Well, a lot of people just think it does this, right? Oh my God. I mean, look at X. Look at the comments that you guys see in your social media feeds. Oh my God, this is it. It's going to collapse. Markets don't fall in a straight line. You get big rallies up, okay? You get a big rally up. I'll show you on the next chart. But what happens after this is a big rally. So I want to look at the things that are on sale as well. And I want to look at the support levels of these things, because my sequence of trading is going to be long when I think this bottom is in, and then short when I think the top is in. That's my next two sequences of trades here, okay? So we have the sell-off of 21%, land it within $2, okay? How accurate are fibs? Within $2. 48.32. This is 48.34 of the 50% retracement. By the way, what was the retracement from the pandemic low? I'm telling you guys, cycles repeat, patterns repeat, fractals repeat. It was a 50% retracement. You just did the exact same retracement that you did in 2022, and you're bouncing off of it. Doesn't mean it will hold, but it could hold. If this is it, right? If this is it, and everything is bearish and we're slipping into a Great Depression and all of that happens, you're going to get a mega rally back up still, probably to around 58.50, and you're going to double top out some type of pattern like this. People say, look, obvious double top, right? Obvious double top. So again, you're going to get a big wave up. You didn't miss anything. There's a big trade that happened here. If you wanted to coin flip on the press conference, good for you. The market was rallying into the press conference. So if those tariffs came out with a baseline of 10%, you would be looking at higher prices right now, not lower prices. The market was shocked, okay? That's a coin flip. Let's go ahead and move to the next chart. So what would this look like with the new price action that we have, and how could this also possibly play out? Well, again, we had the three-wave pattern. How would this play out as a five-wave fractal? A five-wave fractal would show you this. We have wave one, wave two, you just did wave three. This is wave four. 50% holds at 48.34 or coming down to 45.19. If this holds, and then you're coming back up for your wave five. That can be to our target that was not hit at 64.36. But you also got some new targets because you have this expansion to the downside. So let's go ahead and get some of these targets on here so we can see what these look like. 1618 takes you to 7K. Okay, so you could have this wave five for your blow off top at 64.36, slightly higher high, or 7,000. Again, does it have to do this? No, it doesn't have to do anything. I'm just looking at the pattern as it plays out. And I understand this won't be a popular view. That's okay, guys. Don't let it affect your day. This is my view of the markets. I think we just got a big on sale opportunity. And I think you're going to see people pile into these stocks they all missed out on and get this big rally to form. And that rally recovery, just like it was in the pandemic, will be sharp, even if it's to a lower high. It will be a sharp rally, may involve some basing as things go on here, but you will get a sharp rally up. The question to me, the debate to me is not if we're going to get a rally. The debate is, will we get a blow off top or a lower high? That's the debate. It's unknown at this juncture. We don't even know if this is the bottom yet, but it's holding key levels of support. And that's what I want to give you guys. And you can get more updates again if you follow me on X or check out the Discord. So let's look at this on the daily time frame. We also had a beautiful ABC pattern play out here after the breakdown. You can see how ABCs and W's intersect, right? We had a nice W. We had this nice rally up all the way to 57.50. Tariff news came out. Boom. It's over, right? Where'd you fall to? The 200% expansion of the ABC. Guys, there's a lot of confluence at this level. You have that 48.52 here on the ABC. So I would suggest looking at these levels and do what you think is necessary. But I'm looking for a bottom. I'm looking for buying opportunities. And I'm going to be long when I think that bottom is in, because again, at a bare minimum, it comes up, it retests resistance, and it comes back down. These are big moves. 48.52 to 58.40. These are big moves, okay? Big 900 point moves that you can possibly have here. And again, we don't even know if this is a bottom yet. You could still get a flush. I think I'm recording this as the market open. It just opened here 2 minutes ago, okay? So let's go ahead and continue. US Tech, this is NASDAQ 100. There's a 50% line from the big pattern, 16,402. You almost tested it within very, very close. See if it flushes back out. See if that holds. See if it comes down to 15,000. Let everything play out. You made an ABC here as well. Be patient, be calm. Brighter skies are ahead, guys. I don't think the market's done. About Bitcoin, still holding 77K. It took out its low, minor low. People are freaking out. Oh my God, how can you say Bitcoin still has more price action to go? Oh, we're going to go take out this level. Okay, there's your low. There's your higher low. There's your higher low. Where's the panic? Where's the freak out? If you take out your low at 48K, which is substantially lower than you are, clearly it's all crashing. Until then, you're not even testing strong support of the previous structure. You're still floating up here based on these imaginary Fibonacci numbers, right? Natural law of trading. You haven't even tested 72. You're still really close here. I still think Bitcoin's coming back up again to a higher low. I think Bitcoin in the markets, my base case, will be a blow off top. Bitcoin, 132. The levels haven't changed, 132 to 143. What about if we look at Bitcoin on the daily? There's your previous low. You threw a shakeout candle down. Oh my God, that's so scary. I saw somebody comment, dude, redo your whole thesis. You took out the low on Bitcoin. Oh yeah, we took out the low in Bitcoin, guys. Again, everybody, I encourage you to have your own thesis of how the markets play out. But after 20 plus years of doing this, I've seen just about all of it, okay? So I'm not worried about Bitcoin's price action at all. I'm looking at accumulation levels. It's still holding its low as of now. It could flesh out deeper. Your next stop is 72. If it does, the next stop is 66 after that. It doesn't change the overall larger trend. You will still come up for a lower high or a higher high. What's this doing to Solana? Solana is giving you 102. I have a target down here of 88. If the sell-off continues, we got 295. Watch this range closely. This is a year chart between 88 and 105 because you did this here previously, okay? And if these bigger levels hold on the S&P, the God market, largest market in the world, you're going to get a rebound. And even if Solana can't take out 295, you're going to get a rally up that substantially can increase your profit. So just watch the levels, okay? I'm not trying to encourage anybody to buying. I'm telling you what I'm looking at, what I'm doing. Tesla, been tweeting about this. 224, retesting this range. If we can hold this level, 224, that's great. Very bullish for Tesla here. If the bad news is baked in. If it's not, why do we have some fractals here? We got fractal support right in here in this corridor, which is the same corridor you're in now. If this breaks down more below 213, 217 from this low, then you have this wider range here where the low is 173. You have numbers like 185 in here as well. So there's some key support levels, but see if you can hold 213 or higher. If not, look at the lower range. And again, trade according to your market thesis. That's what I'm going to do. Guys, give me a follow on X. Check out marketmakers.trade. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Next exclusive video update is on X on Thursday. Talk to you guys soon.